Well, welcome back. Now, in a shocking incident, a hearing-impaired woman by the name of Kavita, who had filed her nomination papers for the post of ward councillor in her village, Navamakal Kambari of Viluppuram district, was reportedly rejected by the state election authorities on the basis of her disability. Now, joining us in the studios this evening is Mr. Deepak, who is the Vice President of the Tamil Nadu Handicap Federation. Now, Deepak, could you give us a perspective of what actually ensued and what happened?
Well, this madam Kavita had applied for a position in the ward councillor, and that is interior to the Tamil Nadu state, the Viluppuram district. What has happened is, when they came to know, it was quite shocking that they are getting rejected for the very fact that she citing their disability. That's something which is very, very shocking for us and for the disability sector entire. And when the world is talking about the rights of the disabled people, inclusion of the disabled people and their abilities and stuff like that, and somebody getting rejected for her disabilities, like, you know, I'm just thinking that we are getting back say about at least 100 years before. I think that's a kind of an idea I get on just learning about her rejection. So this is something very new, and the way they have addressed disability is very shocking, because once when we spoke to the State Election Commission, they said that that's their rules, and then I went on to browse the Tamil Nadu State Election Commission's website, and there was a handbook for the candidates, and that very specifically say a word called "sevittu umai," which is a very crude way of addressing a hearing impaired person, and we can't even call them hearing impaired. It's kind of hard to hear. That's the way we are trying to redefine ourselves, and especially in this part of the country, we call the disabled people as differently abled. That's something, the first kind of a thing which we call, and we say that we are very socially affirmative, and you suddenly call a person sevittu umai and all, and that's not I think, you know, unworthy of a stature of an election commission to call a disabled person like that.
Right. Also, the government has put in measures to help the differently abled people. They've mentioned different clauses in different laws and rules as well to inculcate in our everyday life.
True.
However, from the side as a federation, as well as representing the federation here today, what do you all probably see is probably lacking, or has it just remained on paper?
I think what is lacking is basically the attitude in the government authorities or the government functionaries and the bureaucrats, basically, because see, there are so many things happening at the national level, at the international level, and my worry is like, why are those things are not culminating to the states of Tamil Nadu, and it should come and reach the last person with disability.
Right.
You have something called the UNCRPD, United Nations Convention for the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, and that says in Article 29, it's something on the political life and the public life of the disabled people, and it very strongly encourages the states to ensure that the disabled people come into the public life. They should advocate for themselves.
Right.
There's no more charity. We are not objects of charity to be looked upon. We do have our abilities, we do have a right, we do have our duties as well. When we are coming out in a large way, I'm sure the Tamil Nadu should be celebrating that a woman with disability, that too inside the interior of Tamil Nadu, is coming so very long. In fact, I would say many women in Chennai have not come. I would say it's a great thing. Instead of celebrating, we are rejecting that something which I can't accept, and the wordings they have used. I think there is a lack of attitude in the government bureaucracy of a kind of understanding, perspective. So what is the social sector?
But what is the future for Ms. Kavita right now from Viluppuram?
Oh, it is very, very limited. I think all the media people should be able to help us, and we have just written to the Tamil Nadu State Election Commission to immediately lift that and give us a personal audience on Monday, because this is Saturday and Sunday are leave, and hope they give us an audience by Monday morning. And if this is not getting lifted, and we are going to stage a demonstration, very peaceful demonstration, we learned from Anna Hazare. So we will have a but we will be very, very, very firm.
Right.
Very firm.
All right, but also speaking on that note, Mr. Deepak, has this happened previously? Have you all faced any such discrimination previously, or is this the very first time that something like this has come
as the Vice President of the Tamil Nadu Disabled Federation, I have faced, or we all have faced, discrimination of different sorts. Something happening in the bus, something happening in the train. We have got manhandled. and we have written to the National Human Rights Commission. So discriminations have been happening at the employment front, you know, marriage front, and everywhere it's happening. But I haven't heard of this kind of an discrimination in the electoral foray. With the Election Commission and couple of activists had gone for the Supreme Court of India, and that had come in support of us, saying that, you know, all the election booths have to be disabled friendly. So many things, you know. And we still, this is something which is very grave, and I think we will fight it out.
What do you finally see probably as the way forward right now?
I think there should be a representation. In fact, the Constitution of India should get amended. That's what I would say. Article 14.
Is that probably the bigger message right now?
That's the biggest message. I think disabled people should get their share, and the word disability should be mentioned in the Article 14 to 16, which advocates and pronounces equality. So it says language, irrespective of language, caste, creed, gender, whatever it is, and everybody is equal. Where is the word of disability? It's not there. That's precisely why we are all having this much of discrimination. After all, everything happening in the international level, nothing has come to us, I would say.
Well, Mr. Deepak, all I can really tell you is we really hope that you all get justice in the causes that you're supporting. Thank you so much for coming by to the studio, taking time off your busy schedule and joining us for this very discussion.
Thank you. I hope all the media also, people help us, the disabled people.
Well, thank you very much again for joining us in the studio. Well, time to move on now. The Congress leadership at the centre still seems caught in a bind over the issue of statehood for Telangana. Now, a day after the dramatic developments yesterday with a Bandh in Hyderabad and fever-pitch talks in Delhi with the Congress as well as with top pro-Telangana leaders. Now, late at night, it emerged that Ghulam Nabi Azad, the Congress in charge of Andhra Pradesh, had submitted a report to the Congress President Sonia Gandhi and the party's co-committee calling for more consultations. Now, the Congress MPs from the region who have been at the receiving end say that it's time that the party made a clear stand on the issue and have also pinned their last hopes on Congress President Sonia Gandhi. A suspended IPS officer Sanjeev Bhatt was produced in the court. Now, he has been given jail. Before he was taken to court earlier in the day, social activist Malika Sarabhai and former DGP Sri Kumar visited Bhatt. Now, he was held following a complaint filed by Constable KD Pant, accusing the IPS officer of abducting him and forcibly recording his statement. Now, his lawyer says that the arrest reflects Modi's government's political vendetta. However, Bhatt's wife has written a letter to the Commissioner of Police, the DGP and the magistrate, saying that there is a threat to his life and he requires protection. Well, moving on now, Mamata Banerjee and Maoists seemed set on a collision course. Now, in an open letter to the Chief Minister, Maoists have said talks and anti-Maoist operations by joint forces cannot continue simultaneously. A tit-for-tat reply to Mamata's recent statement that talks and Maoist killings cannot continue at the very same time.
Since 20th September, Maoists have killed at least 3 people in West Midnapur, 2 of them Trinamool leaders. The result, an angry outburst by Mamata Banerjee telling Maoists to stop the killings or else. The state has also asked the centre not to withdraw joint forces from Maoist-hit areas. Clearly feeling cornered, the Maoists have written to Mamata Banerjee saying, Mamata had earlier called Maoists idealists, now she's calling them murderers. Maoists are not trying to kill Mamata, as the Chief Minister had claimed, and finally, if talks are to continue, anti-Maoist operations by joint forces must stop. On Thursday, Mamata told mediators talks could continue but not indefinitely.
The government has again requested us to proceed with a peace process. Third, there are certain issues. Such issues are to be raised before the main stakeholders in the near future.
There has been no response from the government to the Maoist letter, but signals are Mamata Banerjee is running out of patience and so are the Maoists, a situation that does not bode well for the state. In Kolkata, Monideepa Banerjee, NDTV.
Well, on a more lighter note, it's just a day ahead of the Durga Puja festivities and Kolkata is already decked up with unique themes for pandals. Now, NDTV's Alok Pandey visited one such pandal. Here's more.
Pujo is also a time when every Bengali has made travel plans, but if you are one of those who have not managed to make any travel plans, do not despair, because we are here at the Suruchi Shongo Pujo in New Alipur in Kolkata, and this time the theme of this Pujo is Kashmir. Now I'll just go across to this lady. Ma'am, what's your name?
My name is Mandira Chakraborty.
Mandira, in 20 seconds, what's the USP of your Pujo? Why should people visit it?
Sure. Actually, always we try to highlight one state, and along with that, we just try to highlight the art and craft, the physical features, the cultural programs, all these things. Now we are highlighting Kashmir. You can see we have just we have showed the incredible works of there. And this is actually kalamkari, this is called kalamkari, this is called needlework, this is wood carving, this is chinnar, with the chinnar leaf we have done the wood carving. This is actually metal carving, and there it's very much famous, the pashmina work.
Alright, and also tell me about your thakur. This looks like a wood finish. I mean, what's so unique? You only get to see plaster of Paris or clay idols generally. What's so special about this?
Actually, basically Goddess Durga should be made up of clay and the mud, as because she is Mrinmoyi, and as we are highlighting Kashmir this time, so we have to give the wooden finish this time.
Alright. So that is excellent. So for all those of you who haven't managed to travel out, for all those of you looking for an excellent, beautiful pandal to come to, this is the pandal to get to. This is the place where there will be a lot of activity during Pujo, and at this moment, this is where we are reporting out of a beautiful pandal themed on Kashmir in Kolkata. With camera person GD Shankar, Alok Pandey, NDTV.
We'll take a quick break here on the bulletin, but on the other side, there's more news and updates. Stay with us.